Hi stamping friends, I'm Karina with karinascreations.com, and I want to show you how to make this really fun iris fold ornament card. I had a bunch of friends miss my Friday night class, so I thought I'd do a video so everybody can go home and try one. Anyway, here we go. So the first step is you need a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of garden green cardstock, and you fold that in half. And then you need a piece of 4 inch by 5.25 inch cardstock, which just gets attached onto the base. And then you need a piece of Whisper white cardstock, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inch. And I went and pre-did this, but I took a circle framelit, and it's the 1/6 from the center size, and just centered it a little bit closer to the top and punched a hole out. That's going to be my ornament card. And then what I'm going to use is the Ornamental Pine stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp the greeting that says Christmas Wishes on the bottom with garden green ink. So I'll do that. If you have trouble getting too much ink on your stamps, you can always try to ink your stamps up this way, because you can actually see when the rubber touches the ink pad and you won't get so much excess ink. And you just stamp that on Christmas Wishes. So we're going to do this fun iris fold technique, and what I did was pull off this easy ornament pattern off of the internet, and I just googled easy ornament iris fold pattern, and this is what I got. And you need to take the Whisper white cardstock that I just stamped my greeting on, and you're going to flip it over so that the back side is showing, and I'm centering it over my pattern, and I'm going to put a piece of tape down to hold it in place. Now you need 4 pieces or 4 patterns of designer series paper, and I cut the 4 different patterns into 1 inch by 12 inch strips, and I'm using the Nordic Noel designer series paper. And I folded mine in half. It actually works better if you do it in thirds, but it was just too tricky, so I did it in half first. And this is what I am going to do. Now it's really important that your fold, when you stick your pieces down, that the fold goes into the center of the open circle. So this card uses a lot of snail adhesive, so I will put that down, and this will be my first pattern that goes down. It's going to be the green polka dots, and then you just take your scissors, snip it off, and then my second pattern is going to be this fun chevron. And then I'm going to put it over number 2, which is this one. So put the pattern over here, number 2, and I'm just following the lines of my pattern that I printed out. And snip that, and then we'll do number 3 is down here. Just checking to make sure I'm still in the camera frame. And this time I use the dots pattern. And again, make sure your fold is towards the center. There we go. And then we're going to do number 4, which is here. And number 4 is going to be the red kind of candy cane stripe paper. Okay, so that is the first 4. Now the rest is just filling in, following the numbers on the pattern. So after 4, we're going to do 5. So it's going to go like this, and we put our snail down, and then I take the dotted pattern, and then I just do a little snip. And then 6, I'm back to chevron. Again, fold goes on the center. After you do a couple of these, they're really easy. And 7 is back to this dotted, I don't know what we call that design, but I love it. Oh, I forgot to put not enough adhesive over here to hold it together. Don't cut yourself with the scissors. Okay, number 8 is going to be back to the candy cane pattern. There we go. And then number 9 is back over here. And you can notice it's a little bit wider. So I would have some of my pattern showing through. So I need to refold this piece. So I'm just going to make it for this one piece a little bit wider. I have a small fold in here, but you can't really notice. And I'm not really fussy when I stamp. If you get a card from me, it's handmade. It is not going to be perfect, but it's made with lots of love. Okay, back to chevron. Number 10 is back to chevron. And again, it looks like I need to make my fold a little bit wider than the 1/2 inch. 3/4 of an inch is better. I just do that one. And then 11, I am back to this design. And again, this needs to be 3/4 of an inch. There, we're almost done already. And number 12, I finish off with my striped. And I think it needs to be a bit wider as well. So that one piece should be like 3/4 of an inch. But I just did a class on this and I found it was so much easier to have everybody start by folding all the strips in half instead of 1/3. 1/3 was really tricky to do. Okay, now this last 15, 16, the last few bits are really easy and come together fast. So I'm going to start with 13, and that is this pattern. And then 14 is chevron. You're going to want to go and buy this paper pack now after seeing this fun technique. And 15, this is a great project for when you have to use up paper scraps. You can use magazines too if you like. And then the last pattern, oops, notice I made a mistake here. This should be the last pattern, so we'll just lift that off. That's a nice thing when you use snail. It's forgiving. This pattern was supposed to be, 15 was supposed to be green chevron, the dotted. This one. I don't know what you call that. We'll just call it a dotty pattern. Then my last one is the stripes. Okay, now that that is done, you just pull this off and look how gorgeous this is. And I'm just going to cut off the tape because I'm afraid if I tear it I'm going to make a big mess. And that's it. That gives you your beautiful iris fold pattern. So what I did with, we have this wonderful real red 3/8 of an inch satin woven ribbon, and I wanted it to be look like a Christmas ball. So I took my sticky strip and put just a little bit down. I hope this is the middle. And then I just ran it around the back. And I'll see if I can get it to peel off. Hooray. And I just took a little piece like this. Now it's not even again. I'll just even it up with my ribbon scissors. And then I just folded it along the back. Okay, now the trick with this card, because there is so much paper on the back, you need some height. So you need to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. You're going to put on 4. And then you need to peel them off and then put another layer. So you should have a second, even possibly a third layer, or 3 Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to do 2. I'm finding 2 works not too bad. So you're making them a bit higher to match the height of the paper at the back of your card. Then you just peel them off really quick. And then here is my base, which I will put together really quick. Probably wondering why I use so much snail. I use tons of adhesive on my cards. I don't like it when things fall apart. And in fact, I use a lot of fast fuse now as well. I love the fast fuse. Okay, there we go. So to put this card together, we will just put the ornament part on the card. Try and center it. Isn't that cute? Now it's missing something in the middle. So I took the Itty Bitty Accents punch pack and some silver glimmer paper. You actually get 3 punches in the punch pack. The star is my favorite right now for Christmas. And the glimmer paper is a little bit thicker, so I really like to use a glue dot to put my star on the center of the card. Take a glue dot, put the star in the center, and then to finish it off, I already pre-did a bow. We'll just punch that, put that on, put on a glue dot, and that's it. So that is the card. That's how you make a cute ornament card using an iris fold technique. So I hope you will try this at home. Happy stamping!